Right. So our next topic for today is estimation, which is also called as sizing of the problem. Okay. Why do we do estimates? Do we actually require estimates? Can we not do development without doing estimation? What do you think? Is estimate absolutely necessary?
And if we won't estimate, then the work would keep on going. It would never actually be delivered. No.
Yeah, that is one of the cases, which is quite right. See, estimation is required for forecasting. Otherwise, we'll be working without any guidance, without any milestone to be achieved. And there are several implications to it. Because businesses, they always have certain plans in terms of revenue, in terms of achievement, in terms of any initiatives. And it is important for a business to understand when is it going to get delivered so that they can plan other activities which are dependent on this work. Let's take an example. Let's say government of India is asking us to build an application for the corona cases. Right, even 2-3 years back when there was a corona outbreak, at that point in time, government was in a hurry to get an application created so that they can track how many cases are there in which area, and they can create platforms where people can raise their concerns or get information. In that chaotic situation, in that problematic situation, do you think government can give you a work to create a mobile application without any estimate, without any timeline, right? They will not wait for 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years for the application to create it. That's why they need an estimation, they need a timeline, and by that time, they require that application to be available, right? So that's why estimates are important for us to estimate, for anybody to estimate and tell how long it will take to deliver that work, right? However, we can still start our development, we can continue our development, but we'll not have any timeline. Now, there are three types of estimates. One is estimate of time, another is estimate of work, and third is estimate of value. And these three are different from each other. Estimate of time is the duration which is required to complete a work, and that duration could be measured in any unit of measurement, such as hour, days, work, weeks, months, years. Any standard unit of measurement of time can be used to estimate the time. Another estimate is estimate of work, which is to understand what is the quantum of work or the sizing of problem, right? So sizing of problems tells us how big that work is, right? And then it does not tell us how long it will take to deliver that work. So see, these two are different. One is estimate of time, which tells how much time it will take to deliver something. Another is estimate of work, which tells us how big that work is. What is the size of the problem? It does not tell us how long it will take. So these two are different. We very often interchangeably use them, but essentially these two are different. And third is your estimate of value, which tells us in terms of some financial value, what is the estimate of value normally, but value can be in any shape or form. Value can be estimated in terms of revenue. It can be estimated in terms of return on investment. It can be in terms of profit. It can be in terms of cost saving, cost avoidance, or any sort of value can be there. So these three are all different. All of these are estimates, but they are all different because they are estimating something different from the other one, right? To understand it better, let's take an example. So if I have to travel from Delhi to Bangalore and I want to know how far is Bangalore from Delhi, then the distance between Delhi and Bangalore is my estimate of work, right? How many kilometers, either on road or through air. The distance between these two cities is my estimate of work, irrespective of what uh, mode of transportation I choose. This estimate of work is going to remain same. However, how much time it will take for me to travel from Delhi to Bangalore is estimate of time, which can vary depending upon my mode of transportation. If I take a flight, then it would take 2 to 3 hours. If I travel by road, then it may take up to 3 days. If I travel by train, then it may take another 2 days, perhaps. If I travel on a two-wheeler on a bicycle, then it may take weeks to reach there, right? So irrespective of what the work is, the time required to deliver is different. So if we saw the difference between the two, one is estimate of work, which is my distance. Another is my estimate of time, how long it will take for me to travel that distance. And the time which I will take for traveling from Delhi to Bangalore, like I said, it depends upon the mode of transportation. So I can only estimate, like I said, it may take 2 to 3 hours if I travel in an airplane, but it depends, right? There can be certain unforeseen situations which can lead to uh, variation in the estimate, in the actual versus estimate. So if there is any weather condition which delayed the takeoff or landing of my flight, then this 2 to 3 hours of estimate can turn out to be 5 to 6 hours, right? Or sometimes I might have miscalculated it, right? So the estimate is actually an estimate. It may or may not be exactly same as the actual time taken. If I'm traveling by road, my time taken to travel from Delhi to Bangalore will be dependent upon the traffic conditions, on the weather condition, if my car broke down. All these things will have an impact on my time of travel. So key takeaway here is estimate of work and estimate of time are two separate things. We should not mix them together. Now, how do we estimate work? For time, we know any standard unit of measurement of time is my unit of measurement, hours, days, or weeks, days, months. How do we estimate work? Normally, the most popular one is to, for the purpose of a Scrum, it is story points, right? We have already talked about what a story point is. So we are estimating our work in terms of a story point, which is our sprint velocity, right? So what did we say? Any requirement, we say this is X story point of work. So we are estimating time. We are not saying that one story point takes 1 minute or one story point takes 1 hour. We are not at all mixing these two together. We are saying this requirement is of 5 story points. So this requirement is of 10 story points. How can I convert that into time? It depends upon my sprint velocity, and it depends upon the way my team has actually considered the story point, because one story point or n story point is not a standard unit of measurement. Story points can vary from team to team, and we will talk about that in a while. Are we good so far? Any doubts on this topic till now?
Days also, no?
Come again, please. Who is it?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Story points can be calculated in days also, no? Because I have seen in my team. Suppose one story consists of 2 story points, so it means it will be completed in 2 days.
Right, which is incorrect. See, what is day? Day is a unit of measurement of time.
Time, yeah.
Story point is a unit of measurement of work. Similarly, the example of Delhi Bangalore, the distance between Delhi and Bangalore will remain same, it can vary on multiple conditions. Depends upon the mode of transportation. It depends upon several other conditions which may impact my time taken. So it is incorrect to say that one story point or two story point will take 1 day or 2 days. Because this is something which is very specific to a team. So a story point is not a standard unit of measurement. And give me some time. We will come back to your question, Neha, and then I will explain it better. Okay, give me some more time.
Okay.
Okay, now we talked about the types of estimates, and there are 3 ways to estimate. One is exact estimation. When you are estimating something in a standard unit of measurement, and very confidently you are saying this is the exact estimation. Means hours, days, or months, whatever standard unit of measurement you take, and you're saying this is the exact estimation, absolute estimation, the other word for it. The next one is your relative estimation, where you are estimating something with respect to something else. Okay, and third one is flow metric. I'll come back to both these exact and relative estimation in a short while to explain them better. The third one is flow metric, which is not very widely used. It is considering certain flow of fluids basis which the estimation are done. The most popular one in the realm of Scrum is your relative estimation. Okay. Now, to understand what an exact estimation or a relative estimation is, you'll have to give me some answers. So the image that you see on your screen is of a tree, and next to that tree is a scale. Can you people tell me what is the height of the tree? Just by looking at this image. I will not provide you any other input. Can you tell me the height?
No, we can't.
Right, we cannot because we don't know the scale. If I tell you this scale is of 10 meters, right, then you can compare it and tell how tall the tree is. Correct? We need some scale. So where we are trying to give the absolute estimation, unless we have a standard unit, we cannot provide absolute estimation. On the other hand, if I show you the picture which is on the right hand side and I ask you which tree is taller, can you tell me which tree is taller? Right one is taller, right? Because we just compared it visually. The one on the left seems to be smaller, the one on the right seems to be taller. But again, if I ask you how tall is this tree, can you tell me the taller tree, how tall it is? Right? We cannot tell because we don't have a scale there. But if I ask you my third question, how many times roughly at a high level is the tree on the right of the left one? Is it 2 times taller? Is it 3 times taller? Can you tell me? 3 times, right? So just by looking at it, we can say this is 2 times or 3 times or X times of the smaller tree, right? What did we actually do? We did a relative estimation. We made the smaller tree our point of reference. And taking this smaller tree as a reference, we are calculating the height of the taller tree. So what subconsciously we did? We created a unit of measurement, which is my smaller tree. So if my smaller tree is 1 meter and my taller tree is 3 times of smaller tree, we can calculate the taller tree is 3 meter, right? So subconsciously, we created our own unit of measurement, which is the smaller tree. And we estimated the taller tree with respect to the smaller tree, right? That is what we did. Correct? Yes, no? Do you agree? Right? But we still don't know how tall these 2 trees are because my smaller tree is not a standard unit of measurement. This is the difference between absolute estimation and relative estimation. Absolute estimation is always using a standard, globally accepted standard unit of measurement. Relative estimation is always in reference to something else. Right? Now, taking this concept forward, what happens in absolute estimation or the traditional effort estimation technique? So traditional effort estimation techniques uses a fixed or a standard unit of measurement, and each user story is estimated independently in hours or days, etc. So any product backlog item is further broken down into user stories, as you can see, ABC. And then each user story is divided into tasks. And then traditionally what we do, we will assign some hours to each task. So what are we actually doing? We are not estimating work. We are estimating time taken to deliver that task. And then we sum up all the tasks and say, this user story will take this much amount of time. So user story 1 will take 14 hours. User story 2 will take 18 hours. So what we actually did, we did estimation in time, right? This has certain drawbacks. What those drawbacks are, and this is traditional estimation, which is typically done in the waterfall method. So here we are doing something which is leading to micromanagement by stakeholders. If we commit to certain time, then it becomes a commitment for us, and we are held responsible to meet that timeline. Very often you'll see at the start of the project, the project manager will say this work is for, let's say, 6 months, right? But during the course of 6 months, there will be new requirements. The management will say you have to do this work also, but they will not give you more time. They'll say 6 months is good enough, right? So it leads to micromanagement because you have done the commitment in time, not in amount of work, right? It limits the flexibility to accept change because it will affect the timelines, which normally the leadership does not agree to. And this type of traditional estimation is done by a small group of people. Normally, that group of people is your project manager, your team lead, your tech lead, or somebody senior. 2, 3, 4, 5 people, they'll come together, they will do the estimates basis their own experience. They will have some buffer, they will add some contingency, but still the decision on estimates will be made only by a small group of people. Each and every member of team is not involved in estimation exercise. So this type of estimation makes it person dependent in waterfall. How do we overcome these shortcomings in Scrum? We will see in a short while. Okay. So here we have to understand the concept of accuracy versus precision. Same example, Delhi to Bangalore. Let's say the distance between Delhi to Bangalore is 2,000 kilometers. Now, let's say you are very new to India, you don't know anything about India, or you don't have Google Maps. There is no way you can find out the actual distance. So what would be your best way to identify, right? You will go and ask few people, you will ask somebody, what is the distance between Delhi and Bangalore? That person, whatever they would know, they will tell you, right? So if somebody tells you that it is 1,000 kilometers away, right? So you assume that Delhi and Bangalore are 1,000 kilometers apart, and you want to plan your travel on road. So you will plan your travel assuming that it is 1,000 kilometers away, right? Which is significantly different from the actual distance. So your planning will be incorrect because you have taken incorrect assumption, right? Now, on the other hand, if the person whom you asked about the distance between Delhi and Bangalore, that person tells you it is 2,100 kilometers away, or it is 1,900 or 1,800 kilometers away, so you will plan accordingly. Now, in this case, your plan will be still impacted, but it will not be significantly impacted because there is very less difference between 1800 and 2000 kilometers. Earlier, it was 50-50 difference, right? 1000 and 2000 kilometers are very widely different. So the point I'm trying to say is you need to be accurate for long planning estimation. Precision is not required. Now, what is accuracy and precision? Let's see the other example. Let's say you go to a new city, and within that new city, you have a new office, and you don't know, again, you don't have Google Maps, you don't have any technology to find what is the distance there. So you took a hotel, and that hotel is 5 kilometers away, but you don't know it is actually 5 kilometers. So you go to the reception and you ask the receptionist, how far is that X office from this hotel? So let's say the receptionist tell you it is 3 kilometers away. So you will plan your journey to your office from your hotel according to what has been told to you with that assumption of 3 kilometers. Now, if you are walking, then it is a significant difference between 3 kilometers and 5 kilometers. So if you have a meeting at 9 a.m., it is very likely that you miss that meeting because you planned your travel assuming 3 kilometers. Right? Now, this is short distance. Delhi Bangalore is long. Between hotel and your office, it is very short. So for longer distance, it is okay to have accuracy and not precision. But for shorter durations, for shorter distances, or for shorter amount of work, both precision and accuracy is required. Now, what precision and accuracy is? You see these four bullseyes there? The first one on the extreme left, all the bullet points are very close to each other, right? But they are still far away from the center point. This is precision. They are very precisely very close to each other, but they are lacking accuracy. They are very far from the actual distance, which is the case of Delhi to Bangalore, 1000 kilometers, right? If you ask 5 people and 5 of them tell you 1000 kilometers, so they are all very precise, but they are still away from accuracy. Second bullet is where all the bullet points are very close to the target, to the center location, but they are scattered all over the place. So this is accuracy, meaning all the points are very close to each other, but they are lacking precision. This is the second case. If you ask 5 people and they tell you Delhi to Bangalore is 1800 kilometers or 1900 kilometers or 2100 kilometers, so they are very close to the